Hi guys, in this video we will be writing the code for the problem Ready Bitwise of April Long Challenge 2020 Codechef. So first of all, let's take the test cases input. Now for all the test cases, alright, we'll be having a string input. Alright, now as we discussed, the hash can take 0, 1, 2 and 3 values as 1, 1, 1, 1 respectively, right? Now also, as we discussed in the solution part, these are the matrices for AND, OR and XOR operations that will be used. If you have not seen the explanation part, you can switch to that video and watch it, then you can come to the code, right? So now what we will do, we will take a list L in which we will keep our process part of the string or expression, that is the opening brace, the hashes, operators, etc., until a closing brace is if we will encounter a closing brace, we will pop the last 4 items out of the list, right? And let's take a count variable to count the number of hashes in the expression. Now for I in string, that is elements in the string, that is the characters in the string, if we find that I is a hash, right, first of all what we will need to do, we need to increment the count by 1. Then we will need to append this into the list, list.append I, right? Alright, now if I is the opening brace, all we need to do is append this into I. Alright, and you can write else if also, right? And if I is a closing brace, you know what we need to do, we need to take some variables x, y, z to represent and store the elements of the list, and the last element which is popped will be the closing brace, opening brace, which is not of any use for us, right? Now to evaluate this expression containing this opening and closing brace, we will keep a list k which will store the value how many times 0 is the value of this expression, how many times 1 is the value of this expression, how many times 2, and how many times 3, where 2 and 3 represent small and capital respectively, right? Alright, so now for let's say because I variable is used, j in range 4, that means for 0 to 3, for some, let's say h variable in range 4, what we need to do, we need to first of all check if this y is AND, then what we need to do, we need to simply say that k, the value of AND j and h, right? What is the value of ending j and h, right? We will get this value from the this matrix, right? Alright, so this whatever this value is, at this value k will be incremented by by x, because x and z are having the values of number of times the value is j, and how many number of times the previous expression is related to h, right? So it will be xj times zh, right? Alright, similarly else if y is or, right, then k value or for j and h is incremented by xj times zh. All right, and similarly for the case of XOR, k value XOR is j for gh will be incremented by xj times zh. All right, but as we know, in this question we are given that the values should be evaluated by doing a modulus with this value. So let's include this in our code. Let's say m. All right, so we will do this evaluation as modulus n, modulus n, and whole modulus n, right? So this is how these values are evaluated. And also we need to include this thing else case, where because we have considered the hash value, the opening and closing brace, we haven't considered the operator value, which we will need to append in the list, right? All right, so with that, when this loop is completed, we are having the values of number of times that the expression is evaluated to 0, 1, 2 or 3. So all we need to do is need to output our answer. So for I in range, or I should say in L0, because this is the list containing our answer, right? Answer to the number, how many times the evaluation is evaluated to be 0, 1, 2, 3, right? And this count variable is storing the number of times hash occurs in the expression. So all we need to do, we need to print I modulus m, right, multiplied by, let's write a power function which is going to do our mod inverse. Let's write mod inverse of let's write a mod inverse function, right? It will take m minus 2 and do its mod, and we will take a whole mod of this as well, right? And answer is to be printed with spaces between them, right? So we need to end it with space, and this print is for new line for the next test case. All right, so mod inverse and power of count, this is all we need to do. Let's write a power and mod inverse function. So let's write a power function first, xy. So if we know y is 0, it will return 1. And if y is 1, it will return x. Otherwise there will be a temp variable which will be power x y by 2, and if y mod 2 is 0, we need to return temp times temp. Otherwise we need to return temp times x times temp. And now again we need to apply the modulus operation on that. Mod m, and mod m will be modulus m, modulus m, modulus m, this modulus m with whole modulus m. So all right, now let's define a mod inverse function. So mod inverse of AB, and it should return nothing but power AB modulus mod, right? And I guess we are done with the code. Let's try to run our code on the sample example case. Let's run it. The compilation error, what it says is alright, so there's a small mistake. Let's run the code again now and see if it's working fine for the test cases. There's a runtime error. Not all arguments converted during string formatting. Says, oh, I'm so sorry. You know what? As we have evaluated this value to be in K, we need to push it, not append it into the list, right? So now I think it should work fine. Let's see. I'm so sorry. As in case it's a hash, we need to append L hash, which is a list containing how many times this hash will be evaluated to be 0, 1, 2, or 3, right? So now let's run it. See, these are the values which we got. So these are the values that we got. Let's check out whether we are correct. So exactly we are getting the right answers. So let's submit it and check. Are we all good or not? So it is working completely fine, as you can see. So thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for upcoming videos. Bye bye.